Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Mr. Chris Tobin, the representative of Darug people, to offer traditional welcome to country. Mr. Tobin.
Thank you. Warami Nalawa. Hello and welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I should introduce myself first. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and for the invitation to welcome you all here today. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated, particularly by our elders. Education is highly valued in Aboriginal culture too. Traditionally, knowledge meant survival, and our elders were accorded great respect for their accumulated wisdom and experience. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. As such, he enrolled his daughter, Maria Locke, into the Native Institution, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where present-day Blacktown gets its name from. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here this morning. And with good reason, for your progress is our progress. Your advancement advances us all. Now, this is perhaps more readily understood in traditional times when camps were smaller and clan groups abided by the strict sharing laws, which meant that the food that you brought back in from your day's activities got shared throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all, and your efforts literally nourished the whole community. You, in turn, were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we get clever about it. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly did in many respects, and I often use them for myself and would recommend them to yourselves as a benchmark or a model on how good to expect our lives today. See, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 240 years ago, he described the people he encountered at Botany Bay as one of the happiest people he'd met in the world. They had nothing, he wrote, but the tools that they carried. They were naked, they made shelters out of the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without tilling it. In traditional times, everyone was accorded rights to the country or clan area where he or she was born. So there was no homelessness and no rich and poor either. Everyone had pretty much the same amount of gear, what you could carry. There was no armies or jails or even police. We have no history of slavery or empire building. Our people cooperated to collect the resources which were needed and then shared out accordingly. Our lands were maintained in their natural state, rivers were clean and unpolluted with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. Now, this is not an ideal, this was normal life, and we should expect no less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. But we've got a lot more people now, and we've got to get a lot clever about it. But we're a clever people, and we should be able to do this. So I would say dream big and expect great things and do great things, so that together we can recreate this country to be a country worthy of our children. Now, we can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you good people graduate. I just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you. Jan.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan. Mr. Egan.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your welcome to country. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's my great privilege today as Chancellor of Macquarie University to preside at this very important ceremony. First, I want to welcome all of our graduands, and I hope that today will be a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. Now, that means you have to relax and enjoy the day, from where I'm looking, too many of you look too anxious. Now, there's nothing to be anxious about, there's nothing to be nervous about. You've all passed your exams. The worst thing that can happen today is that you fall over on the stage. That does happen occasionally, and we have that catered for. We have an occasional speaker whose main job it is not only is to give the occasional address, but to pick up anyone who falls over. So we're quite experienced at that. You do deserve to take pride in your graduation, because completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind, you need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. Today I'd also like to welcome, and especially welcome, those of you who are sitting behind our graduands as their invited guests. Because if you think about it for a moment or two, you've all obviously done well too. The very fact that you're here, the fact that you've been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you have been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. So mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, cousins, sons and daughters, grandmothers and grandfathers, friends, husbands and wives, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers, or whatever you are, congratulations, and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. Now, I don't want you to think either that observing today's graduation is the end of your role, because I have another very important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing to proclaim their own success, you make sure you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Now, I hope it won't come as a surprise to you to learn that Macquarie University is not one of those 50 universities. In fact, we're relatively young, only 49 years of age. But in those 49 years, we've come a long way. We now have more than 130,000 Macquarie graduates living in more than 140 countries. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're regarded as one of Australia's leading research universities and are currently extending our research as we are our course offerings and facilities. We're always trying to engage with the world around us. We've forged strong alliances with the community and with industry and are keen to establish more. On your way here this morning, you may have seen our new Macquarie University Hospital, just 2 years old, which is used by the students and academics in our School of Advanced Medicine. You may also have seen our new library, which was opened last year, which really is the best university library in the land, and I think the envy of every university in the land. You may have seen our new hearing hub, which will be opened in just a couple of months' time, and which will house a world-leading institute dedicated to advances in hearing, speech and language science. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. We want Macquarie always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Thank you.
Chancellor, I call on Miss Tunjanak Pratnasanti, who is graduating today with a Bachelor of Commerce, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Miss Pratnasanti.
Chancellor, member of university, fellow graduates, and guests. It is my honor to speak on behalf of graduates at today's ceremony. First of all, I feel privileged to have had the great opportunity to study at Macquarie University. I transferred from another university because I had heard that Macquarie University had expertise in teaching accounting. And my 2-year study life here has been proven that what I have heard was true. Some people may say that study life here is like a journey, but for me, I would like to compare Macquarie to a home. Macquarie University is a very green campus, which creates relaxed atmosphere. We have a gym, new modern library, and modern technologies such as wireless technology around the campus. In this home, we could meet people from almost everywhere around the world. Not only have we great facilities and diverse culture, but we also have quality academic staff. We walk into this home with little or even no knowledge about the area we have chosen to study. I started my accounting degree with little knowledge on what it actually means to be professional accountant. I initially thought that it would be all about numbers, and I would be seen as a calculator, Excel spreadsheet, or other accounting software. However, after completing my degree here, my thoughts were totally wrong. We are not meant to be calculators, but in fact, we are more important than that. Our role plays a major factor into driving company success, and we are not here doing 2 + 2 or simple arithmetic. We are here in Macquarie University doing accounting in order to become professional accountants who the world really needs. With recent global crisis, where huge company collapse, ethics are more important than ever. And this is why Macquarie University requires ethical education as our capstone unit. Enron case study was used to illustrate unethical management and accountants' actions in order to encourage us to create self-awareness of others, since we can cause such a big issue, not only to us, but to the world. My thought would not have been changed and shaped in this way if I did not receive ethical education from Macquarie teaching staff. It is like how parents teaching their children will have a significant impact on their future behavior. If the parents teaching them to be a good person in society, they're likely to be a good citizen. This home builds us not only technical skills, but we are also asked to participate in group work, analyze case studies, make critical essays, which are the skills required for surviving in our new home as a professional. Thus, on behalf of graduates, I would like to sincerely thank all the Macquarie teaching staff who made a warm welcome at our arrival and supported us throughout the journey in this home. Thank you, Macquarie University, for providing such a beautiful place to study. Thank you, our families, who always cheer us up and are behind our every success. And thank you, our friends, who share an unforgettable experience with us in this home. We are about to leave Macquarie home. It is like we are about to leave our parents' home. They taught you many things and made you ready for your own life. But we will never forget your parents. And same here, we will never forget what we have shared in this home, what we have learned in this home. And we will surely miss this home. And this home will always welcome us to come back. And finally, congratulations to all of us, and good luck in your new home. Thank you.
Well done, Tan Charnock, and congratulations not only on a fine speech, but congratulations on your degree. I'm delighted that you found Macquarie to be a friendly and welcoming home, and I hope that you'll always regard Macquarie as one of your homes and a home to which you're always welcome. And I hope that you'll have a lifelong association with Macquarie. Congratulations once again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now come to that part of the ceremony which is the reason we're here today, the key part of the ceremony, and that is the conferring of degrees. But it's the one part of the ceremony that makes me just a little bit nervous, because I'm told that if I confer a degree on someone who's not eligible to receive it, there's nothing I can do to take it back. So I have to get an ironclad guarantee that all of you never missed a lecture, never were late in submitting an assignment, and otherwise passed all your exams. So I'm going to ask the Registrar to give me that guarantee. Registrar.
Chancellor, I certify that all the graduates or candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of Academic Senate for the degrees that they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to the degrees please stand?
Graduands, in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Please be seated. Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Business and Economics. This is the largest faculty at Macquarie and is one of the largest in Australia. A broad range of programs in some of the most exciting and topical areas of business and economics are offered, and they continue to be in high demand both domestically and internationally. Graduates have recorded employment levels and starting salaries well above the average of all Australian business schools. Research in this faculty is cutting edge and innovative and feeds into teaching, giving students the best possible learning experience. This faculty includes research and study areas in accounting, actuary studies, applied finance, economics, management and marketing. Chancellor, I now call on Professor Mark Gabbett, the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Business and Economics, to present the graduates. Professor Gabbett.
Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics whom you have admitted to degrees. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Shane Vincent Leong, for a thesis entitled The Role of Disclosure in Enhancing Accountability and Mitigating the Democratic Risk of Corporate Political Donations. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Applied Finance, Ashk Mani. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Commerce, Colin Richard Hugenrad. Yan Huang. Straight across. Alyssa Nicole Katie Ergang. Hee Jung Jeon. Pui Chung Ivan Kam. Thomas Daniel Keating. Soo Young Kim. Bong Ling Lee. Lin Lee. Xiao Chan Lee. Yong Chan Liang. Eric Liao. Chao Pang Lin. Junrei Li Liu. Jacob Alexander Losa. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of International Business. Federico Gustavo Halsben Sens. Ying Liu. I present the graduate admitted to the honours degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Amir Ali Rafi. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance with the Bachelor of Commerce Actuarial Studies, Helen Chick. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance with the Bachelor of Economics, Austin George Ubel. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Science, Rachel Ward Collins. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Mark Robert Lewis. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Vincent Ali. Ishara Budika Amarasinghe. Wei Chi An. Christopher Andrich. Daniel Anis. Holly Nicole Ansell. Prue Louise Anstis. Bibi Shana Bacchus. Thomas Bailey. Angeline Baritan. Liam Richard Barry. Michelle Bartolo. Rachel Basher. Christopher Baitup. Paris Vivian Beckfield. Caitlin Imogen Benson. Amanda Louise Bertus. David Richards Bickle. Rosemary Ann Blythe. Bianca Bolt. Tanchanuk Brathanasanti. Alexandra Louise Bretherton. Becky Kate Brewer. Oscar Charles Bryant. T2 Trang Boy. Toby Karu Kayad. Nathan Campbell. Shi Li Tsao. Reese Gregory Charles Carmody. Courtney Lee Chambers. Alexander Ziwing Chan. Hoi Sang Chan. Grace Chow. Nati Chawi Wanakal. Jianbing Chan. Chi Chun. Raymond Chun. Tao Chun. Wan Chun. Wenlong Chun. Wing Ying Catherine Chung. Yik Ting Cheong. Amy Cho. In Sung Cho. Anthony Cirillo. Adam John Civitares. Richard Alexander Cohen. Courtney Culp. Elise Cusack. Callum Michael Davies. Ching Ling Ding. Natasha Durovich. Nicholas Adam Doherty. Oslam Dursun. Curtis James Dwyer. Jad Anthony El-Adzi. Elias El Indari. Rob Evans. Cheng Biao Feng. Heshan Prakesh Fernando. Angus James Finley. Moritz Chun Yung Fok. Luke Thomas Fox. Jordan Fusker. Shirley Gann. Yu Feng Gao. Saskia Elizabeth Gatti. Brianna Kate Gill. Lachlan Gray. Fiona Greta. Ling Guo. Snowy Guo. Rebecca Guzmani. Kinali Nikita Patel. Lisa Ann Zreka. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Accounting. Daniel Chand. Jiashu Chung. Benjamin John Clifford. Shehan Dahanayaka. Ophelia Dela Cruz. Nishat Dowla. Jayanthini Ethaya Segaram. Helen Francis. Yuan Ding Fu. Joshua Daniel Walter Grimm. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Actuarial Studies, Stephanie Hoi Yan Lee. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Marketing. Kaylee Ann Carr. David Thomas James Schwiebel. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Professional Accounting. Varisha Amin. Jabran Amjad. Kiara Andrews. Danny Atra. Feza Azim. Naman Bandari. Chao B. Alexander Edmund Brown. Simon Daniel Burke. Laura Michelle Bushby. Ka Sin Butt. Xiaoxian Tsai. Jake Carter. Wan Chow. Lu Chan. Lu Chan. Chi Chan. Xiao Xiao Chan. Yi Xia Chan. Min Chan. Yoko Chikawaka. Kam Kwai Chow. Adam Christoforidis. Ka Yi Chum. Se Tsang Chung. Hannah Mary Cover. Wei Jing Dai. T Van Am Dam. Arkady Danilov. Deepa Dangana. Simone Diet. Dean Dewan Vance. Willem Johan Karel Duplessis. Philip Paul Elias. Joanne Fung. Min Fu. Han Gao. Shengda Gao. Claudia Gatto. Joshua Gorlick. Victoria Goncharuk. Violetta Sylvia Geshkiewak. Ye Gu. Benjamin Guido Guidi. Charanpreet Singh Oberoi. Jing Shu. Yu Yuan. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Human Resource Management, Kevin Guan Beng Lim. Lisa Spalding. Chancellor, that completes this morning's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics.
Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? That beautiful voice belongs to Angela Brewer, ladies and gentlemen. Would you like to hear Angela sing just a little bit more? Yes. Okay, well, hold your horses. What you've got to do is enrol in another degree. And when you come back at your next graduation, I promise you Angela will be singing again. I think she deserves another great round of applause. As do our other fabulous musicians on the Chinese flute, Chai Chang Ning. And our organist, Dr. James Forsyth. And there's a few other people, usually they're sitting over there, but they're scattered around the hall today. They're wearing badges saying, "Ask me." Some people think that's their family name. It's not. They're actually asking you to ask them something if you want to. They're our alumni volunteers, and they come along to make sure that everything goes smoothly at your graduation, so they deserve a great round of applause too. It's now my pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Ms. Carol Fox. Carol Fox is an internationally qualified and recognised speaker, author, personal coach and facilitator. As one of Australia's first professional female lifeguards, a national level swimmer and water polo player, she's experienced the mindset of champions firsthand. Her years as a university lecturer and coach confirmed her belief that champions are simply people who found their life's purpose and who live that purpose with clear focus. As a trailblazer in surf life saving, Carol was able to learn the key elements that enable someone to follow their dream despite what other people think, and she's here today to share that wisdom with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carol Fox.
Thank you, Chancellor, and members of the faculty, graduates, and your friends and your family. I have to just say how privileged I felt sitting up on stage watching you walk by, just seeing the pride on your faces having achieved what you have here today. For the past 20 years, I've had a training company, and I've had the privilege of working in many areas with leaders of the industry in sport, entertainment, business and education, just sharing information on team building, leadership concepts and success. Recently I worked with a group of gymnasts, and as I was working with them, I was working with the coaches. And I'm in the training room with the coaches, and outside, through the window, we could see these little gymnasts, their athletes, lining up at the bottom of a great big climbing wall. So the coaches were getting distracted, and they said, "Can we go and watch the athletes?" I said, "Sure." So we go over to the climbing wall, and when we get there, they're harnessed in, and they start to climb. And as they start to climb, and they get to about the 1 metre mark, the coaches start. "You girls are too little, the wall's too high, the grips are too far apart, and you'll come off." And guess what? A couple come off the wall. And then they get to about the 3 metre mark. It starts again. "You girls are too little, the wall's too high, you'll never make it, the grips are too far apart." Guess what? A couple more come off. And then they're getting up pretty high around the 5 metre mark. So the coaches, to make sure that they could hear them, "It's too high, you're too small, the grips are too far apart, and the winds come up as well, you won't make it." And a couple more come down. Until only one made it all the way up there. And I said, "You know, when she comes down, let's find out why she was the only one who made it despite what you were all saying to her." And talking about making it despite what other people say, hear, think and feel, I want to share with you 3 key concepts for success that over the years of working with leaders and successful people, I've come across. The first one is to set goals and dream big. You know, when you hop into a car, and we have a GPS, usually we put a destination in. Would that be correct? And so we put our destination in, and sometimes our GPS gets us there straight away, and sometimes it takes us to really interesting places. Yeah, I don't know about you, but that's what happens for me. But what if you got in your car and you didn't know your destination? You wouldn't go anywhere. And all goal setting is simply giving your mind a directive of where it is you would like to go in your life out of all of the possibilities that are out there. But I know when I want to do goal setting with some groups, people roll their eyes and go, "Oh, I don't want to set goals." How come? What if they don't come true? Well, what if they do? You know, sitting in anxiety is really interesting because it keeps you stuck. Did you know that you can only do anxiety, you can only be anxious if you're focusing on all the things that you don't want to have happen in your life? And why would you do that? You know, do we know 100% what's going to happen in our future? No. So if I sit there and I think about all of the bad things that can happen, will they all come true 100%? And think about those times when you've worried about something and you spent a lot of time and energy worrying about it and it never came true. No, they never come true 100%. Now if we think about all of the wonderful possibilities that are out there and all the great things that can happen in our life and we set goals, do they always come true? 100%, no. But which one would you rather spend your time focusing on? The one that causes anxiety and keeps you where you are? Or the one that keeps you motivated and excited and focusing on possibilities and really allows you to dream? I know it's a hard decision, but I'll leave that one with you. The second key is to create a really supportive environment. Now, I don't know if you've heard this statement before. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Who's heard that one? Yeah, how true that is. You know, I can't even begin to count the number of times that I have been supported professionally in my life and my business has been supported by people that I went to university with through my alumni. The fact that I'm standing here today is actually testament to that. So, you know, this is really about, for you now, creating a supportive environment and staying in touch. Create this special network of opportunities and possibilities. On my book, I teach a lot about communication based on my book, and we talk about rapport building. Did you know that one of the quickest ways for us to build rapport with someone is to find common experiences and associations? Think about it. When you go to a party, a dinner party, and you know the host, but you don't know anyone else, and you meet a stranger, one of the first questions you'll often ask is, how do you know the host? What are we looking for? We're looking for something in common. And then once we find something in common, then we can talk about it, and all of a sudden we have a conversation going. As you head out into your future, every time you meet someone from Macquarie University in your professional life, you get an instant rapport that will help you so much and really be able to get you moving and achieving what it is that you want. So stay in touch. LinkedIn's pretty handy, Facebook sometimes, but we'll see how we go with that one. Definitely LinkedIn. And the third key is be aware of the power of words on your performance. And these are the words that we say to ourselves, but they're also the words that other people say to us as well. You know, champions, successful people, they stay focused on their opportunities and all the possibilities that are out there. Did you know that when a champion or a successful person makes a mistake, they don't should themselves? And shoulding yourself, and you might know someone who does this, that when they make a mistake and they do something wrong, they just should themselves, what they should have done. But should's a really interesting word because it instantly hooks into the emotion of guilt, and guilt keeps us stuck. No, what champions do is champions say, I didn't do it right, what could I do, and what's next. Champions and successful people keep moving forward. They get caught up in what they can do and their possibilities rather than what they should have done and been stuck in the past. And then there's the stories that other people want to tell you. And you know, sometimes you'll have people in your life who think they're being practical when they're telling you about all the limitations that are out there. But the problem with those practicalities is it's their reality, not yours. And what successful people do is that when someone tells them that they can't do something in their life, successful people turn around and say, "Watch me." So if you remember the story of the gymnast, and she made all the way up there despite what the coaches were saying to her. And as she came down from the wall, she walked towards us. And I said, "Excuse me, how come you're the only one who made it up there, despite what we were all saying to you?" And she went, "Huh?" And she pointed to her hearing aid. Yep, turned out she was deaf. So as you go forward in the future, remember to aim high and dream big, to find a supportive environment and to contribute and allow others to contribute to you. But most importantly, be deaf to the limitations that other people want to place on you. And if they do, just turn around and say, "Watch me." Thank you so much for having me here today. I feel really privileged. Congratulations on your achievements. You must be so proud, and make sure you celebrate it. Thank you.
Aim high and dream big. I think that's very, very good advice. And I want to thank Carol, who's come all the way from Victoria, by the way, to be such an important part of your graduation ceremony. I think you've been very privileged to hear such an inspiring occasional address with such great advice. Thank you very much, Carol. Please join me again. Well, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it's certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of Macquarie alumni, which now spans the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support, and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engaged with Macquarie throughout your life. And please do make sure to come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study, to attend alumni events, perhaps use our aquatic and fitness facilities, or even, if the mood takes you, to enjoy a picnic down by the lake. Well, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges. But like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either, because almost everything you do, in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society, through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or a kind gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life or a great career or a great achievement. So as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned, not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the community. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those who have not had the opportunities that you have enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you wherever you go to go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Well, now, graduates, I hope that you'll also always remember the people who have helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are here with you today. To acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a couple of things for me. First, could you all please stand, graduates? Now I'd like you to put your degrees on the seats behind you so that your hands are free. And I'd like you to turn around to face your families and friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause. Now, graduates, you can turn around, but don't sit down just yet, because in fact we'll be leaving in a moment or two. There are also on the stage some representatives of our academic community, and of course they've been very vital in your studies and obtaining your degrees. I think they deserve a great round of applause as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the official party will now leave the courtyard through the centre aisle, and we will be followed by all of the graduates. So I would invite everyone now to please stand, and please remain standing until the last of the graduates have processed out. And then I invite all of you to join us at the University Court for some light refreshments. Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future, and in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Good luck, graduates.